my people? It's your girl V.marie once again with another episode of Spilling the Ink. And today I want to shout out my production team because we're doing impromptu for you. All right. A topic of discussion was brought up behind the scenes and we're bringing it to you raw. So don't think this was premeditated, but it's definitely a murder on the scene. Okay. Get your pen and paper. We're about to go in when it comes to avoiding burnout in business. I have heard this, and I think that that's why this was important to hit this topic instead of what was planned today, because a lot of entrepreneurs are suffering in silence when it comes to burnout. And I know personally, I've had to deal with depression and anxiety because of what happens behind the scenes as an entrepreneur. But I do have a lot of tips and strategies that I would like to share today that helps me to keep my momentum going. So let's get ready to work because that's exactly what it's going to take. Okay. So first, when it came to me searching on my journey, I've been an entrepreneur with Panther and Graphics since 2007. Okay. I started in digital communications. You know what? You disrespectful. Did you see that? Did y'all see that? Keep it. Did y'all see? Just disrespectful. Almost went in my nose. Anyway. So when I started out in digital communications, I started Panther and Graphics development in 2007. I got my DBA. I got a crazy little Kinko's, the flimsy, probably 2-pound paper business card. And I sat at Starbucks and I would go down business chains and introduce with a printed portfolio. That's how throwback I am, y'all. A printed portfolio. Nobody's walking around with prints anymore, but that was your girl back in 2007. For those that don't know, I come from the era of Adobe Creative Suite when it was CS3. When it was CS3. Y'all know nothing about that either. See, y'all floating on clouds. We didn't have clouds, okay? We had little discs called floppy disk and CD-ROM and little flash drives and things of that nature. That's the era of when I was creating graphics, all right? So just to take you on that journey, it's been over 15 years. And in that development process of a business owner, I have learned a lot. I've had pits and falls. So I'm going to share with you how I went through that journey and what I use now to overcome all of the obstacles. Okay. First, it takes resilience. So in order to have resilience, you have to believe in something higher than yourself being the foundation. Okay. Because there are going to be times where you have to cry and still sit at that computer. There are going to be times where you are tired because you put in like 60-hour shifts just nonstop. There's going to be times where you have to borrow money and it goes against your pride and ego. Let's stop right there and just take that. If you can't say amen on that, say ouch for sure, because you have to really put aside pride and ego to win. This is not excuse my language, but it's real pissing contest. We just gonna say it. It's not a pissing contest. I could care less how far you pee. I just feel like collectively, if we pee together, could we meet the mark? You know what I'm saying? Can we pee together? That's so crazy for me to say, can we pee together? But hey, a family that pee together, pray together. I don't know. Make it work for yourself. But all I'm saying is this. We have to be intentional, okay? We got to be intentional. So resilience, when you are building from something that is a firm foundation, it took spirituality to drive me in a lot of things. It also took me to be clear on my why when I get very overwhelmed. Because sometimes that overwhelmness, like I said, can trigger depression or anxiety. So now you are so consumed in thoughts. But I'm going to help you with understanding what depression and anxiety really are. Depression is us constantly in our thoughts based on what has happened. Anxiety is us constantly in our thoughts based on what hasn't happened. Oh my God, I don't know how this is going to turn out. I don't know what's going to happen when we get in the room. I don't know. That's anxiety. Depression is, it went that way and it didn't turn out how I wanted it to. And I'm not used to this and this happened that way and it didn't pan out. And I made the content, but it's taking forever to get a sale and I don't know why. And now you're hard on yourself because you triggered something that reminds you of something from your past. So we hit depression. because that content not thriving to get that sale you expected from it may trigger how you felt abandoned when you were 5 years old. I want you to take that into consideration because it's real talk. So when it comes to that, I'm moving into personal development concept to not burn out during business. You have to understand the things that trigger you. You have to be able to self-identify with what makes me happy, what makes me sad, what makes me shut down, what makes me angry, and understand what the root of those feelings are, those emotions. We have to be aware of ourselves in order to grow in emotional intelligence and discipline ourselves enough to be able to remove our emotions from business. Business doesn't have a place for emotions. So again, burnout sometimes is a direct correlation to you have to prove something to somebody. So you've been driving at home, and you've been driving and you've been working and driving and researching and putting in action and investing, and you're just like, oh my God, I feel like a hamster on the wheel. So I'm going to talk about avoiding burnout from 2 directions for my business owners that are monetized versus my business owners that aren't monetized. For the business owners that are monetized, you have to figure out what portion of your income is going to go towards delegation. As business owners, we have to understand that it's going to come apart in time while your business is developing. When you have proven that you have a system that makes revenue for you, you duplicate that process to where that 1 sale becomes 2 and that 2 becomes 4. It's called the doubling method. 4 becomes 8, okay? And we just keep going on and on and on with this proven system. When your system has proven to generate revenue, at least 20% of that revenue needs to go towards you delegating operations, okay? This is from experience. I wish someone would have taught me that, because without understanding that, you have the preconceived notion that it's all on me. I have to wear many hats. I got to operate everything. And for my people with trust issues, get over yourself. And I'm sorry that came out as hard as it did, but I'm not sorry, because we hold ourselves back, and that causes bloat in our pipelines when we feel like everything is up to us and we want to wear all the hats to make production. Sometimes that is a power struggle with yourself. Some of you maybe had a childhood where you didn't feel seen or heard, or you feel like you need control over everything because you didn't have control in your home. All of that is something you have to identify when it comes to leadership and entrepreneurship. So to avoid the burnout, we have to be able to trust that we can delegate some of our responsibilities after we are monetized. For my people that are not monetized, I want you to simplify your processes. And especially for my creative brains, we have a creative thought just about every day. Some days we have 5 or 6 of them. So I have a method that I want to share with you that hopefully it will help. I have a whiteboard in my office, and when I have moments of brain dumping, I allow myself to brain dump all the brainstorms and the webs and all of the things we weave on that whiteboard. I take a picture of the whiteboard and I just file it. And then I wipe the whiteboard off. You're probably like, why? You look like a crazy person. Well, let me tell you the method behind the madness to that. By me doing that, I haven't lost any of my ideas. It also gives me a visual of my frameworks for things that may come later. But when you're clear on your end goal, and this is why it's important to plan out things by quarters, and then by months, and then by weeks, so that you understand what your day-to-day looks like. So with that being said, if I'm focused on, let's say I have an event coming up and I have event planning, but because I'm a creative mind, I'm going to be thinking about all kinds of other ideas that may come about that have nothing to do with the event. Don't steer yourself off focus because you can't control your thoughts. So that's my method of saying I'm letting my thoughts have their way by brain dumping it out. I'm taking a picture of it so that I can reference it later, so I haven't lost any of my thoughts. And you don't have to do a whiteboard. You can use your phone and use your notepad or make audio notes, whatever works for you. But my style is that whiteboard sits in front of my computer. So I'm always looking at it every single day. So I like to wipe it clean and then get my thoughts back on the end goal, the event. So when it comes to the event, to not overwhelm or burn out on that. So now first I've cleared my thoughts, I stored my thoughts. Now that it's dumped, I can get back to the focal point of the event. So let's case out the event, but let's not put more than 5 bullet points on the whiteboard. That way you avoid being overwhelmed. Okay, so we have to plan actionable steps that are conducive to the time that we have available. A lot of times we hit burnout because we have too many things on our plate and we're trying to accommodate everything, so everything doesn't get all of us. It doesn't get all of your attention. It doesn't get all of your efforts. So sometimes you might miss a mark here or there because you were focused on making the PowerPoint and the email campaign and making the logo and the advertisement and marketing and content, customer relations. And it's just a lot that goes on, right? So you want to simplify your task from week to week so that it's not overwhelming. Everything has its place in your schedule, and you want to leave cushions in case something may come up that goes into another time slot. So I always say 3 to 5 bullet points per week can help you to just relax, to breathe. So that goes under making sure you have actionable steps, measurable goals. And for anyone that's ever heard of SMART goals, you want to reference that. Okay, so if you need to Google it, Google it. We're not going to break down SMART goals today because that's not the topic of conversation. I'm going to need you to do your homework, okay? I'm not going to babysit you. We're not going to, no. Go look up SMART goals. It's going to help you if you hadn't heard of that, okay? But I love you. So getting back to it. After you know that they're measurable, actionable steps, you've simplified the schedule from week to week. And if you are the monetized people, you know that, all right, now I have a little cushion where I can delegate. For my people that are looking to hire and you're wondering how that starts, I want you to know I understand. I know that it's frightening to grow as an entrepreneur. When it's time to hire help, that is very, very difficult because it's a safe space for you. Your brand is your baby, right? But again, it goes to that trust factor, understanding that if this brand is intended by God's mission in your life, He's going to send assigned people to you to help build and grow your operations. So that's why I'm saying have faith in trusting, because honestly, we are applying distrust to people that actually have been put in position to help you win based off of things we've gone through with people in our past. Those people that you're engaging with now have nothing to do with what happened in the past. So don't put them under that assumption that you can't trust anyone to help your business grow. There is no mogul in business that made it there by themselves. They may have started alone, but it takes a team to succeed. So, and that is also a part of balance in entrepreneurship. You can source that as well when it comes to taking action. It's a quadrant. You take action on what's primary, you delegate, and you eliminate. Those are the options in business. Can I make this primary? Is this a priority that I can execute on? If not, do I have the opportunity to delegate this? And for my people, even the ones that haven't monetized, you can hire interns. You can start with internship. And it's funny because even an intern can hire an intern. You see what I'm saying? If you need assistance on your editing, if you need assistance on your email campaigns, if you need assistance for someone to hold the camera, there are a lot of people that are eager, hungry, good work, quality work, willing to learn, are willing to get that experience under their belt to add to their resume. So I would start there. But in all things, make sure you remember that whatever is prioritized to get to my end goal by week to week, because I know what I'm trying to achieve for the quarter, I'm focusing on that only. Nothing else has space in this. And if I start getting overwhelmed in my mind, go and brain dump some type of way and just store it. Because the funny thing about brain dumping, you can source those files later and find new ideas that add layers to your business, or it can become new concepts for other people. Sometimes our ideas become great ideas for other people. So keep that in mind. And another thing I want you to do is celebrate small wins. Don't rush by when you've achieved something too fast. Also, don't sit in it too long. We don't have time to celebrate. Popping bottles runs out, okay? And bottles ain't cheap. All right, can we get an amen? Hallelujah to the Jesus. Stop playing with yourself. Okay, okay. I'm about to take it here. I feel the utterance of a ghetto spirit summering up in my spirit. So let me go ahead and just say it, okay? Stop using your income tax and things of that nature, your baby's, what is it called? Child support. Stop using that baby's money, and you know that baby has been ashy for 4 years. Buy that baby lotion. Instead of you going out popping bottles just because you made a sale today on Instagram, it's okay. Just because that summer dress sold in your boutique, that's cute. Look, disrespectful Nat. Even the Nat hating. So I want you guys to get more responsible when it comes to how we use our resources so that we can delegate in business. Stop using the opportunities where you see more cash flow, a little extra cash on that bonus that you got on the job, and you know you want to leave that job. Well, how you going to leave if you don't have a structured plan? So saying all that to say, use those funds to delegate, eliminate, or prioritize your execution, okay? So, I got that out of my spirit. Don't be trifling, y'all. When that income tax, and don't use it though. Go get JoJo and Nuck out of jail. Let them do their time. They can get their commissary. They can start doing braids or something. That is your money to use to build your business. Okay, we're gonna focus on standing on business for real. All right, let's do better, y'all. I hope I helped somebody today. But that concludes this episode, okay? It's your girl, V.Marie, coming to you once again with another episode of Spilling the Ink. If you love this episode, I need you to stay tuned for more. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share it out. I know you want me all to yourself, but you gotta share me, y'all. So till next time, I'm out.